Welcome to SVGTV News for Friday, May 31st, 2019. I am Investor Boynes with the details. The Ministry of Education has launched an investigation into an incident where a male primary school student assaulted a female classmate at a school in capital Kingstown. In a video gone viral on social media, the male student is seen slapping the female classmate about her body and in her face. It is currently unclear when the incident occurred, but the video began making its rounds on social media yesterday. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Michael Burke, said they are aware of the video and is treating the matter with utmost attention to ensure a thorough and expeditious investigation into the incident, which the ministry views as disturbing. The 14-second video shows a few students who were also in the classroom at the time capturing the incident on their devices, while a few could be heard wailing. The video also shows that it was only after the female student cried out that the male student stopped the attack. When our news team contacted the principal of the school on the matter, we were told that she had no statement to make. SVGTV News was, however, reliably informed that the parents of the two students were called in today for a meeting at the school to have the matter addressed. Meanwhile, local psychologist Dr. Joselle Miller says both the victim and the aggressor in the incident will need counseling. Dr. Miller told SVGTV News that she also saw the video and it is disturbing on many levels and brings to light the need to address anger management in the schools across the country. She says there is an issue relating to bullying and sensationalizing of violence, which could affect the lives and development of children, and that the victim of the attack in this particular incident will need counseling similar to a woman who has experienced domestic violence.
And as a parent, your heart breaks for your child because now, if it's an adult, you might want to retaliate in a particular way, but it's another child. These children need our help. It means now that I would suggest that the mother or the father of the child who is the victim, that you bring the child to any counselor, psychologist who can work along with the child, because you're going to have to deal with challenges as it relates now to self-esteem. You're going to have challenges now because just as an adult woman being in the place of domestic violence inflicted by a partner, this child has experienced something similar. So now she has to deal with the fact that, okay, you know what, I'm going back to school. My friends are going to be laughing at me, persons are going to be taunting me and making fun of the situation. So she has to now readjust herself to figure out how can she navigate going back to school and being functional.
The health psychologist said the actions of the aggressor is a cry for help and recommends that his parents seek counseling for him as soon as possible. Dr. Miller added that parents on a whole must lead by example to foster well-rounded citizens of tomorrow.
The young boy, obviously there is a cry for help as it relates to how he manages his anger. From the look of that video, I would say that that child may have been exposed to violence at some level. And we have to get to the place now, parents, where you understand that you can't just speak to a child, but you have to demonstrate the right behavior. Because we're having a gap where parents are saying one thing and doing something else. You have to step up to the plate and actually walk your talk. If you want your children to be good citizens with strong characters, you have to then exemplify the exact same thing. You can't be fighting, cursing, doing whatever on the side, and your child now is looking at that. What we see, what they see, they're going to replicate. That's how it works.
Dr. Miller added that children can develop various disorders such as oppositional defiance disorders, which can affect them later on in life. She warned that if parents do not properly socialize their children early, the legal system will have to punish them later in life.
Have conduct disorders. And I hasten to say this, that children who are not socialized and nurtured now in a way that they understand right from wrong and they understand consequences of their actions, the police and the legal system will be the ones who will have to teach them later in life. Because what a child is doing now at 10 and 11, if they are not corrected, if they are not chastened and shown the right way, in 20 years from now we're going to have a society filled with violence, a society where only the fist and the guns and the knife would respond to whatever the challenges are. We have to teach our kids what it is to exercise wisdom, patience, tolerance. We have to teach them to be forgiving and understanding of others. We have to allow them to see it being shown through our actions as adults in order for them to understand that it is not right. It is not right to fight, it is not right to stand by and see your friends or any other person being hurt or injured and you yourself do not step up to try and help.
Meanwhile, Minister of National Mobilization and the Youth, Frederick Stevenson, said it is important for the nation's youth to find better ways to resolve disputes. Minister Stevenson said that parents also have a critical role to play in molding the youth into becoming respectful, law-abiding citizens.
To young people, that we have to find creative ways of settling disputes. Not the box and cuff and slaps, but we can sit down together and talk. And I want to appeal to our parents that you have a responsibility, first and foremost as parents, to train up a child in the way he should go, so that when he is old, he should not depart from it. And maybe some of the issues we see coming out from our schools come from our homes.
This country has made another step in harnessing the positive benefits of information computer technology. This statement was made by Minister of Economic Planning Camila Gonzalez at a ceremony held yesterday evening to mark the completion of the laying of subsea fiber optics here. The project is a collaborative effort between the government of SVG and the Caribbean Regional Communications Infrastructure Program (CARSIP). The laying of approximately 150 miles of fiber optics cable is expected to drastically improve the delivery of ICT services in SVG. Speaking at yesterday's ceremony, Minister Gonzalez said he has lamented on a few occasions that the internet service in the country is underpowered and overpriced, a situation which creates a drag on innovation.
And it has been an impediment to further investment, foreign direct investment, the establishment of business, and a strain or drag on innovation and entrepreneurship in this country. We were fortunate to be at the ground floor of a project discussed with the World Bank, and I'm particularly glad that Ms. Hogan is here from the World Bank, to do something that for this region is fairly revolutionary. It is to create a fiber optic backbone stretching from Grenada through the Grenadines up to St. Vincent with high-tech, latest generation fiber optic subsea connections that would leave St. Vincent and the Grenadines with a at least infrastructurally with a network that rivals that of Singapore and other advanced countries.
Minister Gonzalez said ICTs can be an accelerant to development and highlighted some of the improved services Vincentians can look forward to now that the cables have been laid.
With this now in place, or soon to be in place, there is nothing physically, there is no technical impediment to a doctor in St. Vincent viewing x-rays of a patient in Mairo. And there is nothing stopping someone who wishes to have a class, an expert math teacher who may be teaching at a school on the mainland, conducting a class in real time with students in a rural or Grenadine island. And there is nothing to stop governments in St. Vincent communicating with governments in Grenada for free without paying long distance charges, because we're directly wired to one another by a high-speed internet connection. It's difficult to overstate the potential of what this connection does to our country.
Minister Gonzalez encouraged Vincentians to find innovative ways to benefit from the new infrastructure.
Difficulty and the challenge now is to make this highway work, to put good cars on the highway, to make good content, because if all we use our broadband connection for now, having connected every hospital and clinic, is for the man or woman at the reception desk to get a faster Facebook connection, then we've wasted our money. The idea is to put the infrastructure in place to enable innovation, to enable e-commerce, e-business, e-government, and to enable innovation. And that's what we're doing here today now. The response to why don't we have those things will not be because we don't have the infrastructural capacity. It will have to be because we haven't thought of it yet, because now we're placing the infrastructural prerequisites in place.
More benefits are coming to mobile telephone customers here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Dominica, Grenada, St. Kitts and Nevis, and St. Lucia. The Eastern Caribbean Telecommunications Authority, ECTEL, has announced that starting Monday, June 3, 2019, mobile number portability will be launched in all 5 ECTEL member states. Mobile number portability enables consumers to keep their current mobile telephone numbers when switching from one mobile telephone operator to another. This service removes the inconvenience of phone users having to inform their contacts, family and friends of a new number after changing their mobile service provider. The formal announcement was made on May 23rd at the 39th ECTEL Council of Ministers meeting in St. Lucia. ECTEL Council member and St. Lucia's Minister of Economic Development, Housing, Urban Renewal, Transportation and Civil Aviation, Guy Joseph, complimented the Directorate and staff of ECTEL for seeing the mobile number portability project through, despite pushback from telecommunications providers.
Quite a bit of work went into it over the years leading up to this point. We have had resistance in certain quarters. You've had some of the providers who have raised their own concerns about bearing the burden of the cost of the equipment and what is required. And then it also would have implications for their projections, because at any point in time somebody can choose to switch a provider. So while I did not expect a wholesome move of persons, let's say, switching providers to say you're going to get almost everybody switching providers, but creating an avenue where other players can enter into the market and capitalize on the goodwill of the market as a new entrant would be able to help us see better liberalization, not just in St. Lucia, but across the ECTEL member states. And that is what I'm really looking forward to.
Mobile number portability will be available to postpaid and prepaid mobile consumers of all service providers within the ECTEL region free of charge. Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves is among regional leaders paying tribute to the late former Prime Minister of Jamaica, Edward Seager. Seager passed away this week on his 89th birthday. Reflecting on his university days in Jamaica, PM Gonzalez said that Seager, whom he referred to as a nation builder, was instrumental in him not being deported to SVG.
Of representatives, big JLP man too. Bruce telephoned Seager. Seager invited Bruce and myself to dinner that night at Vale Royal. say we should see how this problem could be dealt with. In the middle of the dinner, clearly by arrangement, Prime Minister Shearer called and spoke to me and said that he didn't, they're not any longer going to issue any deportation order in relation to me if I don't leave. And Shearer and I actually became friends. But that was an important act of kindness, which Edward Siaga did for me at the urging of my friend Bruce Golden. So I want to put that on the record. Remember, I begin by telling you we didn't agree on some things. Of course, we agreed on many things, but we didn't agree on some things. But I never found him to be unkind or to be a person stuffed with malice. This is why I can, despite whatever disagreements which we would have had on policy issues, I am able to say that he is a nation builder, and the region has lost a very thoughtful leader.
The hurricane season will officially start tomorrow, Saturday, June 1st. This year is projected to have a 40% chance of being a near normal season and a 30% chance of being above normal, according to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration Climate Prediction Center's 2019 hurricane season forecast. For 2019, the NOAA forecast calls for 9 to 15 named storms, including 4 to 8 hurricanes and 2 to 4 major hurricanes. Director of the National Emergency Management Organization, NEMO, Michelle Forbes, said the organization's preparedness will be tested with the upcoming trade winds exercise.
Side of the island, in the event that we have an emergency and we are not able to get out there as quickly as possible. We have 2 more warehouses that will be opening before the peak of the season, so we're looking at Mespo and Union Island. And then the last one out of the 6 will start construction later this year. So we have been doing our community meetings, and this year it's even we're going an extra mile because we're also taking part in the trade winds exercise, which will also be testing our national capacity and our response capacity of all the agencies of government that has a role to play in the national disaster mechanism.
Forbes said despite the organization's readiness, they are encouraging all Vincentians to heed the necessary precautions and to be prepared for the season if they haven't already done so.
We do not know when. A storm, or even, it doesn't even have to be a storm. It can be heavy rainfall as we saw in 2013. Any single event, once we're in a vulnerable condition, can impact us. If we live near the rivers, if we live near the streams, if our houses are not too proper, as we would say, then we can be impacted at any time. So it is up to us as individuals and families to really say, wait, this can happen to me. It's not if it's going to happen, it can happen. And we don't know when St. Vincent and the Grenadines will be in a direct path of a storm per se. So we need not to be thinking that it cannot happen to us. It can happen. If we don't take things seriously of ensuring that house that we're living is safe, imagine everything just disappearing within a few hours. And if at least that we can drive that home, that we need to take seriously that storms can impact us, impact our livelihoods, and affect us for a long time.
Carnival Beat is coming right up.
All right.
Welcome to Carnival Beat, the first official show for Vincimas 2019 and one of the most anticipated competitions for the summer festival will be held tomorrow at Carnival City Victoria Park. 6 contestants will be competing for the 2019 Miss SVG title. They are Sonia Delicia, Miss Flo, Kersha Modeste, Miss Lotto, Felica Thomas, Miss Massey Stores SVG Limited, Sylvain Lavier, Miss Metrocent General Insurance Company Limited, Sharika Rodney, Miss Mustique Company Limited, Megan Graves, Miss Vincentian Chocolate. Our news team took to the streets of capital Kingstown today to hear the public's views on this year's pageant and who they think will win the crown.
Well, let me say no the girl of them name because I was not interested.
Oh, you was not interested?
No, I was not interested. I will tell you the truth, I was not interested.
So?
No, anymore. It used to interest me when I was in carnival, but I don't get involved in carnival anymore. But I back in Miss
this year.
All of them.
You think that all
of them are winners.
Why do you think that all are winners?
Because they're all beautiful and they're all smart and they're all intelligent. I think they did a whole lot, and there's always more could be done. But they did a good job. La Fawn is doing a well of a job. Thumbs up to her.
You guys getting ready for Miss SVG tomorrow?
Morning for Miss SVG.
So who do you think will win Miss SVG? Who you backing?
I have no idea. I don't know none of the names them.
You don't know none of the names?
No. I'm a child of God.
Honestly, I have no idea because I'm a child of God and I don't participate in Miss SVG.
Because I ain't see them up to now.
You haven't seen them up to now?
No.
Okay. So you don't have a clue who will win?
No, I don't.
So now I get to know what's going on now. I'm mostly at the same mountain and thing.
Also you don't normally hear it over the
yeah. So now to get to hear it. So if I didn't get to hear it now, I could have really know who I'm backing and thing.
Oh, so